Hey, it's the normal playing guy, and we are now doing a Did You Summon video. Did you summon for Pikkon? Really, did you? Are you for real? LR Pikkon. Wow, they are. And they are doubling down. Not like I'm trying to say that this guy doesn't deserve an LR Dockenfest. It's a bit underwhelming, but all laughing aside, we'll jump straight into it. So he's another World Warriors and Saviours, flat out 200%. Alright, so you know this guy's going to be clutch and you know he's going to be good. He is just going to be built great. It's just, man, he's just not on anybody's radar. So, 200% for either Otherworld or Saviours is probably one of the first few we've got of that. So he already has quite a good one there, which means that he is valuable just on that. There are a few other World Warriors which have a 170%, so which is really good, and they might even have the 200% by the 30% buff by another category, but yeah, that makes him good as a guest. So we have 3 key 250% stats, which is nice. Coming in with LR stats, what do we have? Okay, 11,000 defense, 17,500 attack, good amount of health. If you happen to spend all your stones and you had one dupe, 12 and a bit thousand, strong attack. He's a strong unit, maybe not so much defensively, but he is offensively quite capable. 250% great, 50% chance to dodge, period, that's nice. And he randomly changes key to rainbow, not including your physical, so every other but physical to rainbow. Okay, that's nice. If there's another World Warriors or tournament participant ally in the same turn, all allies get 3 key 40%. Okay, 3 key 40% of stats is no joke, right? I don't even know if the 3 key makes more use, is more valuable, but to be fair, other World Warriors and Saviours, they're not, especially Saviours, right? It's not the most fleshed out of teams, so having 40% stats is absolutely welcome when it comes to that. As the second attacker in a turn, other World Warriors or tournament participant allies get a damage reduction rate of 10%. That's for 2 turns, which would reset every other turn, so that's fine. So that's into. The thing is, 10% is not much. I suppose if anyone stacks a bit, it helps. As the second or third attacker, okay, you guarantee guard, and this will apply as the second, okay, so you guarantee guard, 50% chance to crit, an additional 50% chance to super, and you get an additional 20% to dodge, meaning you get 70%. When you have your ultra, you get 150% of stats. Okay, I like this in the fact that you have. It's interesting because this is strictly in slot 2 as your damage reduction, but you can get it as this. So ideally you want this guy in slot 2, right? That's the whole point. I suppose you could also have one in slot 2, one in slot 3 for your rotation, right? Depending on how it works. But as you know, you're good at guard, which is nice. I'm not going to say you're great in terms of damage reduction, but having a 70% chance to dodge with guard, now you're actually kind of talking. It's, as I was saying, LR Pikkon he's not on anybody's radar. Nobody's going to drop a lot of money outside of the whales, right? Not many people are going to come up to me and start defending this guy as that beast of a unit. But again, like imagine STR Videl, she's a Dockenfest. They made her utterly broken at the time. But that's it, it doesn't really work. But same sort of deal with this. It doesn't matter how beast you make him, it's one of them, isn't it? It's not on anyone's radar. But as I say, guard with 70% to dodge, and you get bonus stats on this. Speaking of your super attack, your 12 key greatly raises, that's a 50% buff at the turn, and it appears your lower defense. Okay. Your 18 key, which gives you that big buff, greatly raises attack and 100% defense for the turn. And you lower attack. So you're getting a huge amount of defense. Bear in mind, so on super attack, you're going to be getting this. When attacking with 18 ki or more, you get that, right? And then this is a 100% multiplier, and that's a 50% multiplier. That is huge. The guy is going to be crushing. Seriously, 55%. This dude's going to be putting out close to 700k defense and probably well north of 10 million, right? And if you have some relevant links all leveled up, legendary power, fierce battle, experienced fighters and shocking speed, there's going to be tons of attacking power there for him. So yeah, and this is, funny enough, before we transform. Transform units usually get something good. So this guy is definitely you keep him on rotation, and he is a solid support, because that's really good. And then of course, he's a dodging unit. So let's have a look. From the 4th turn, so there's nothing special about it, you just transform from the 4th turn. For which, what do we get? 5 ki 300%. Okay, there's his burning flash thing. Right, so 5 ki 300%, guaranteed guard still. You still have 70% chance to dodge, nice. Now you have a 70% chance to crit. Okay, 2 ki per rainbow. Okay, and you are still a rainbow key sphere, not including your physical, so you can still get some heals. This is good. 70% crit, 70% to dodge. You still maintain these benefits before receiving an attack. So in other words, slot 1, you have 3 ki and extra 10% to dodge. So actually in slot 1 you have 80%. And then it drops down to 70 when you attack. When attacking, you get 50% extra off all of this, right? So you get an extra 150. When attacking with 12 or more, you get an additional buff of 70. Wow. And then when you get 18, then that basically doubles. And then when you get 24 ki, your attack goes up quite a lot. And it's guaranteed to hit. So anyone who would have a potential dodge won't matter. For every rainbow key sphere, and you are a rainbow orb changer, 30% attack and 10% crit. I'd say the 30% attack is perhaps most devastating. He's powerful, don't get me wrong. He has 5 ki. You're going to enter the game with 6. So you're already going to be on 11 ki, right? So you're already going to have pretty much this. You're going to have 3 ki if you put him in slot 1, but outside of that, let's ignore that. Let's have a look. Shocking speed will come in with 2, so that just touches you over, and I think that's really okay. So unless you can get Supreme Warrior, so shocking speed is most likely it. So you'll come in with a game with 12 ki, and then rainbow gives you an additional 2, so you'd only need 3 rainbow, or ideally a couple of rainbow, couple of physical. And then you've gotten this and all of this, and they all stack on each other. So in this form, I fully expect his defensive numbers to, even at 55%, quite honestly, you gotta be not far from 1 million. You gotta be. And what's his super attack effect? 50% buff and 100% buff to both attack as well and defense. So this is 100% multiplier of what you're going to be getting. And then if you get an additional, you get an additional 50% on top of that. As I say, he's going to be hitting like a ridiculous amount. And defensively and offensively, he's going to be clutch for those two teams. They've made him really, really strong. But did you summon? You gotta let me know. Non-Wales out there, let me know, because I want to know if you did. It's pretty bonkers. And his banner wasn't especially great as well, because his banner, you would have had this guy on it. I think this guy actually was on it. And who else was there? There's the older ones that were on there. So again, it wasn't especially a particularly good banner. Okay, so Supreme Warrior, experienced fighters, shocking speed, cold judgment, overworld, fierce battle, legendary power. Yeah, okay, so you can get quite 5 if not 6 of these just rocking on these people, right? So that's not so bad. The only problem is Supreme Fighter. Supreme Warrior, sorry, and experienced fighters is kind of limiting it. Because look at this, we're talking like Jiren is not in other World Warriors, that's for sure. Neither is Piccolo and neither is this unit, right? It's a bit funny. Yeah, okay. So some of the like this unit, and look at these. It's because of the certain links that they have. Yeah, the other Pikkons are coming in. Yes, I know this guy has his easy A now, but I get it'll probably be the best linking partner, right? And this guy is much older, but it's that this is the problem. Now, what it doesn't tell you is like if you take out these few links, you are still going to get shocking speed and fierce battle legendary power. You're just not going to see it for a whole bunch of them. Now, in terms of key and attack, that's not so bad really if you think about it. Just in that team in general. So that's good. He's obviously going to be better suited towards other World Warriors. But there you go. That's him. LR Pikkon. Did you summon? Let me know. He is a beast of a unit, right? He's really going to help out on pretty much every single one of these teams. You can use him as slot 2 and 3. He still maintains most of his stuff, if not all of his stuff and more, even when you transform. So there's no reason to, you might as well just transform as soon as you do. But yeah, sure. Anyway, that's it. He's a good unit. It remains to be seen how much use he actually gets and how much of a front line he is. But as I say, it's a random one. But sure, here you go. LR Pikkon. Right, anyway, enough of this video. Quick enough. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.